All right, to watch this video for Wednesday, July 11th, the SPY gapped up today, put in a pretty narrow range on the day, but still pretty strong. I'm going to go into what we're watching for tomorrow, this MTSL. Just a crazy move and actually massive volume on it and held up pretty well. Now, as often happens when a strong stock like this closes fairly strong, and let me go to intraday and show you what happened. Right, is really, really choppy and looked like at the end of the day, shorts are going to win, right? These are 5-minute candles I'm showing you, and look what happens. All of a sudden, the last 15 minutes, it just rips higher. I actually nibbled right at 272, took 500 shares right before the close to sell in after hours, which I don't usually do that, but I've seen this happen so many times that I did. It actually is, I think it hit 4 in after hours. It's trading at 377 right now. And, you know, basically what happens is shorts usually do pretty well. Short sellers usually do pretty well. Look at MTSL back here. Look at these topping tails. Look at them. Everyone. And then all of a sudden, they're probably expecting another one. You know, the thesis is, hey, this thing always reverses and closes at the lows. So they're shorting it, and they're shorting it, and they're shorting it. And then they get a little confident. Near the end of the day, they're like, yeah, we got this. And next thing you know, it closes like that. And, you know, some of them get shell-shocked. And the only way they can cover a lot of times is they'll wait till after hours. And then they see it climbing higher and higher. So anyway, long story short, it's a viable strategy, but you can also get slapped with, you know, the market closing and them announcing an offering or something. And I have an example of that. ISR. ISR yesterday closed up at, these are 5-minute candles again, closed up at $1.10. And next thing you know, in after hours, I don't have after hours on here. Let's show that real quick. Next thing you know, in after hours, this was like the last 5 minutes of after hours trading. Look at that. I even tweeted something like, did that really happen? I wasn't in it or anything, but so that's, you know, just to show you, there's always a danger. I don't want anyone saying, well, GSP said, always take a strong close, you know, and then sell it in the after hours. That's not a, nothing's guaranteed in the market. Anyway, MTSL, let me go back and get after hours off here. I'm going to watch it again tomorrow. After saying all that, and I had a nice little, you know, trade there and sold some in after hours, it's, you know, more than likely, who knows, by the time it opens tomorrow, it may open down below 273 where, you know, where it closed. I have no idea, but right now it's trading at 375. It held up well enough that we're going to watch it tomorrow. I probably spoke way too much about that. GBR, straight out of the gate today, just rips, pulls back, rips again, and ended up kind of in the afternoon looking like it might close near the highs. I ended up closing at 388. I don't know what to say about this one. You know, gapped up here, sold off, then the very next day ripped, and the very next day ripped again. So, you know, it went from $1.53 on this day right down here to the very next day over 12 bucks. That's insane. And it's come all the way back down. If you watched my video last night, you knew I had this on Bounce Watch today. So, you know, we were watching this one. With the close where it closed, I don't know. You could argue, you know, you had a pop and it's kind of flagging. I definitely think it's worth watching for a potential long tomorrow. So it's back on the list. BDR closed fairly strong. This one also kind of has like that MTSL, a lot of topping tails on the daily, but this one closed pretty strong. We'll see if we get a follow-through day in that one tomorrow. RXII, little extra volume today. I don't love the chart. It's an ugly daily chart, but we'll see if that volume means something by giving us a low-risk setup tomorrow. If not, we won't trade it. BSPM, little bit of extra volume in this one today, and it's starting to curl up. Former high flyers, you can see back here, had a big intraday move on this day too, so we'll see if it's ready to turn back up. I don't love it because it hasn't had a really high relative volume day in the past week or so, and that's kind of one of the parameters I want to see because I'm a day trader. So I want to stay in the realm of the stocks that are in play. So let me go back to this BSPM real quick. I wouldn't really call this one in play, right? Contrast that with a GBR, who crazy volume, crazy moves, that's in play, right? So this is sort of, I guess, maybe labeled a sleeper pick, this BSPM, all right? MRNS, this is kind of a handsome chart. You had a pop back here. Then you had a lower high, and it's kind of come up a little, maybe cup and handle and trying to break out to the upside again. Pretty strong close today, so want to watch this one. Today's high was 812. You had a high back here of 825-ish. So if we get over 812, it might take out that 825 and maybe test these highs back here. Certainly worth watching. JONE, another kind of sleeper pick, but it did have big volume here, a nice secondary push here, quiet inside day. And if I go to 15-minute candles, I think you can kind of see this spike, then a lower high, and then it's kind of coiling, right? So this one, if the baby oils get moving, this JONE looks pretty good. So we're going to keep our eyes on that one. TGC, another baby oil that's curling back up. So some of these are starting to show some strength again. So that's why they're on the watch list. BBOX, this is a weird chart. Looked like it was going to zero. Then the next day caught a bid. Then the next day gaps up and takes out this entire red day, takes it out to the upside. Then gaps up the next day. Long story short, this is a bizarre chart, but it is in play, right? So 15-minute candles, there's the big sell-off. There's the little bounce. Then there's the gap up. Then the next day it gapped up, closed red. And today opened right around $2 and then ended up closing right around $2. So it's hard to tell. I mean, I like to look at a style. Most charts you can look at and say, hey, bulls are winning here. Bears are winning here, right? This one, I don't know who the hell's winning. It's right where it was a week ago after all kinds of chaos, but absolutely worth watching, all right? STAF had this huge move yesterday, then a kind of a quiet inside day today. Sometimes we get a third day move right back up, so that goes on watch for that. Let's see, where are we? LEDS, kind of the same thing as STAF. You had the big pop, then a quiet inside day on lower volume, but it also almost round tripped back down to where it started, so that makes me like it less, but we're going to put it on watch nonetheless. And then BNTC had the gap up, pop, and then a reversal, and then another red day, but a little bit of a bottoming tail. This one might be ready to turn back up tomorrow. I got to tell you, I'm not in love with this list, but it only takes one or two decent setups to make my daily goal. So I log in every day with a list I like. We add morning gap plays to the list. Hopefully we can catch a nice morning gap play setup. And, it only takes a couple good trades. I'm speaking to all the day traders out there, though. Always remember, I can't emphasize this enough. Always play defense first. Every trade I take, I'm thinking defense first because you cannot be a consistently profitable day trader if you allow yourself to ever blow up your account by not playing defense. So that's my friendly reminder. Try to throw a reminder out every couple of videos or so. And that's my if I had to give one piece of advice to a new or budding trader, it would be you have to play defense first. Do not try to get rich on any one trade and protect the downside. You got to have your capital, or you're out of business. All right, I'm done babbling. See you guys tomorrow.